Hey, Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM22 Career Mode, episode 84. We continue on with the Tour de France and our quest for the green jersey. It is stage 12, so we're past halfway. But Peters is still in the top 10, as he's done well. He's won a stage, so we couldn't get him in the break. He was marked. He was very much a marked man. But Vandenberg, we could. So Vandenberg's going to hopefully go pick up 20 points here in 8 kilometers time before we head into 2 mega climbs for the day, and we see our sprinters get dropped, and just that's it for the day. And with 18 in the group, this is it. Vandenberg's going to collect points, and possibly somebody who decides if they want to challenge him or not, but I don't think there's anyone here. This is climbers. We are surrounded by climbers, so with 4K to go, Vandenberg, let's start inching our way forward. This group's been pushing tempo, and the Peloton has been pushing tempo. You can see how much fatigue there is long before we ever even reach the first climb. And now with 2.5K to go, Vandenberg is actually doing better than the rest of them because they're pushing like crazy to catch this group that had an almost 6-minute advantage. And we've never taken it easy, but as we approach the sprint point now, waiting. Okay, now sprinting just in case. Yep, that's it. We're good. We got it. And he can now relax. That's going to put him into second place ahead of Van Aert, 22 points behind his teammate. Again, he is here for 2 reasons. One, he's here as an alternative if something happens, if Peters crashes out of the race, we have Vandenberg as a fallback. And 2, every point he takes is a point that he's taking away from the guys that are in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th place. We'll set about a 79 for Vandenberg, let him climb at his pace. And then these guys are already there and already struggling. Only one rider's protecting Peters. Ponamar, Piccioni are just miserable today. A -6 for Piccioni on his stamina, -2 on his mountain. Big minuses to their flat ratings. It's the flat rating. It's a 67 for Piccioni that really caught him out on that long stint. And we're going to have to gel up early for these guys, and I think we're going to have to take at least these 2 and back off a bit and let them drift and try to get towards the end of the stage, as Vandenberg now has been dropped. Still 8K to go in the climb, and he's not going to make it on a 79, but a 75 should just about do it. Bausch, go ahead and gel up. Get McKellar behind Peters. Peters is hanging in there with protection, making a big difference. Vandenberg nearly back to the group and nearly out of energy. But maybe we were a little better off than we were. A couple of those breakaway riders went back towards us faster. All right, Ponamar, Bach, Piccioni, Bausch, Vandenberg, all getting set to automatic. McKellar still here supporting Peters, kind of. Let's go ahead and actually support him proper. There you go. Peters drifting. He's going to make it maybe to the top with the main group on this climb. Might as well, put that effort in to stay in the group because it's going to make a big difference. Come on. I was going 88 and he was hanging on just fine, and then he automatically decides to sit up on his own and open the gap. That makes perfect sense. Perfect. Makes so many pennies. He needs to be recovering. Oh, he needs to really recover. Let Velens do the work here. He's our front man, so we are completely out of the Peloton. 55 riders left up there, and we're just going to see this thing out. We knew he was going to get dropped from the top 10 today. I just thought, hey, maybe it'll not happen till the second climb, but happened right at the top of the first, even though he was there. He had the energy and no reason to actually be dropped. Apparently it took a 99 effort to stay put. Mark Hershey going backwards. Mohoric leading this group. 7K to go on the climb, and he's hanging in there pretty well. And McKellar's actually back, so McKellar go ahead and protect. $5K to go on the climb. McKellar. Change of tactics. I don't know why. I just cannot. I want time to go out, but at the same time, it's just not right. If you can, you might as well, right? If you can succeed, succeed. It's hard for me to suck on purpose. It really is. Okay, McKellar leading the way, and Peters is looking good now. Can't even follow him? Okay, fine. We won't. We're not that far behind the Peloton, but we are 2 minutes down, so that, I mean, we are standing to lose a couple minutes here. It's not going to bump us that far down. It'll keep us in the teens in the positions. $2K sprint. Gregoire takes the stage ahead of Guillaume Martin, Johannesson, and we took 58th. And that does definitely bump us out of the top 10, which should make it possible. Didn't see our race leader. I don't see him in the top 20, but I'm assuming that Van Aert was probably there. Stage 13 is the individual time trial, 27 kilometers in length, and Van Aert has won it. So not only does he retain the race lead for now, Pogačar loses 1 second on the day. We'll see what that does to the GC. Brenner, minute 6 in second. Pogačar in third. Evenepoel, Bernal, Carapaz, Yates, Rodriguez, Hindley, and Johannesson are your top 10, with Vingegaard just outside of it. And Peters is down in 17th. Far enough now with a 6-minute gap that he should no longer be a threat in the classification. But winning the stage was worth 20 points. So Van Aert picks up another 20 points, and that moves him back into second place in the points classification, just 18 points behind Peters, and 4 again ahead of Vandenberg. Penhout remains in. He's close enough to be in. Koij, Jakobsen are just about out of this thing now, as we're into the final third of the race, and some mountain stages ahead. So there's not as many opportunities to pick up points. By the way, I don't know how far I'll be able to get today for this episode. It's New Year's, and for the business I had a lot of paperwork, so I've been putting in a really, really busy day for the actual. I love doing this on YouTube, and eventually I certainly hope that it can be a serious earner, but right now it's not. My business is the one that pays the bills, so it does have to come first. Also, my year in review video is just about ready to go out, so I am recording this rather late, and realized at the moment I don't even have my door closed, but I'm squeezing in what I can, so that at least there is still an episode for you today, as I'm recording this fairly late into the evening the night before. Stage 14 is one of those absurdly hard stages where you finish by climbing the Tourmalet, and it's only 130 kilometers, so it's intense from beginning to end, and 2 major climbs along the way. So Peters still, even though he's barely inside the top 20 now, is still being marked heavily, probably because Van Aert in the back of his mind still has the green jersey as a thought. And I think the only one who's really impacting it is not anybody else in the green jersey classification. It's not Vandenberg, it's just Peters, because he has the green jersey. Van Aert wants the green jersey. Remember, he is not the leader of the classification. So Anyway, I used Ponemar to get Vandenberg into the break. We have more than the 15 riders necessary. However, it's only a minute 20 advantage because of the intensity of the stage, the intensity of the day. So McKellar, Bausch still need water as Bach finishes that task. There you go. Ponemar is exhausted from his work, and they were much further up the road. It was actually, they were in the break. It was the Cat 4. This little climb here that split the group. They were 5 off and then 16 up ahead. So there had been 21. And even though they were only 20 seconds behind, it took us 40 kilometers, maybe 30, 35 kilometers to catch the breakaway. I'm not sure Vandenberg's going to hang on to get points. Hopefully Van Aert does not claim any points, as I think, you know, if anybody's going to get over the top of the climb, it's going to be him. But Peters, I mean, oh my goodness. 2 days ago, before the time trial, his expected was a +6. Morale was high. Fitness is maxed out on the fitness peak with the objective, and the expected was a +6. He had a +5 that day, rode well, almost finished in the Peloton, right? We had that little split over the top, which made no sense because he was going full effort, and he was definitely not maxed out. He was almost full effort. Shouldn't have been dropped under those circumstances, but we almost made it back up there. And then 5K to go. Vandenberg's not going to make it. He's getting dropped right now, and here comes the Peloton anyway. The worrying thing is, I'm guessing Van Aert is, yeah, right there. Right there. Peters is barely hanging on. Piccioni is already nearly done, and he's already been dropped, even though, I mean, there was no real reason for him to be dropped here, but so he is gone. Keller, go ahead and protect Vandenberg. Go ahead and use your gel. Peters, you are a punchy type guy. Let's make some progress here. Already 3 minutes behind, so not going to do much good, but let's at least kind of catch this group. There's Vandenberg and McKellar. All right, go ahead and sit up. Nothing doing. We're out of this thing today, so let's just watch what happens at the front. So Van Aert does get dropped. There's 29 ahead. There's a good chance that they're not going to be caught up before the climb, and that could be good. That could be really good. Let's see what happens with those points as we get up there. 6:44 behind the front runners. Let's figure out where those front runners are. Front runners is Johannesson and nobody else. And then Guillaume Martin. And then the 29 of the Peloton with Pogacar at the head of that, pushing to get time back away from Van Aert. So Van Aert looks like he's finally losing the jersey. We thought it would have been a couple days ago, but he had still held on to it this long. And he's only a minute down to the overall. He's only 42 seconds behind Pogacar for now, but the Tourmalet is ahead. Much bigger climb, and he's already behind. Through the flat section, not really making up ground, but they almost are. Are they going to regain contact? Meanwhile, checking back in, 4 teammates here. Group A7. Let's get McKellar. Try to lead this group.
The team leaders have their minds fixed on today's goal.
A lot of good riders back here. Vanderpool was pretty high in the standings. There's Van Aert again. Still 36 seconds behind, and Johannesson is going through the sprint point. now. Gil Martin should be close behind. And now here comes the main peloton, and so no change in the points. At least we've had that. At least we've had that. And he's definitely not going to be at the front. Let's watch now from the front what happens. Now the bad news is if he loses the jersey, there's a good chance that he's going to suddenly change his focus. Brenner's the one who sits in second, not Pogacar. .45 at the front, which means they did catch them, didn't they? Yeah, there was only 29. Yeah, look who's here. Van Aert back in the group. Meanwhile, back in our group, Keller is now out of energy. So we're going to put him on auto, and Piccioni needs to get water. And then he's going to take over. I don't know why I'm still interested in ours. I know there's faster ways to do this, other ways to do this, but it's kind of nice to see that visual of the space. 3 riders starting to pull away. Van Aert for now is able to keep up. This is Ayuso being let out. This is a team. So Carapaz, Monaco are his teammates, and Ayuso now goes to the front, trying to hold that gap. But here is Bardet trying to pull things back, not far behind, and most of the contenders are still here, and Van Aert is still here. So Van Aert very well could be in the jersey still at the end of the day. And like I said, that's a good thing for us. The more he's in there, the more he's going to be focused on the yellow jersey and not the green one.
Attack by Carapaz.
That's Carapaz on the attack. Mix it up. Van Aert gets dropped. Still 6K to go. McKellar got dropped. Piccioni dropped the group. There's Martin, who got caught a while ago. You can see how this group is all blown up. Campenarts, Toynes, Sosa has been dropped. Rivera, Monaco, Johannesson sticking with Van Aert. Uche Bardet, Ayuso. Now 10 who just got split off here. Paulus. Rodriguez. He sits 8th. Evenepoel at the back of the front 19. He's about to get dropped. A little bit too much for him. Skilmos also. Sivakov, Roglic, Bernal. What's Bernal's position? He is 5th. Vingegaard also getting dropped. He's in 11th. Is he trying to pull back Bernal? Sheffield gets dropped. Globe gets dropped. Hindley. Brenner, the 2nd place overall man, has been dropped. I think I know who's about to take the lead. Gregoire. Garcia. Johannesson. Carapaz now fading as well. There is Pogacar, Lopez, and Yates. And here's going to be your new race leader. And he's going to win the stage as well. At least it looks like he is. He's celebrating like he's won it. Pogacar does take the win. Yates, Lopez, Johannesson, Carapaz, and Vingegaard. 5 and 6 on the stage. Garcia, Gregoire. There's Brenner. There's your top 20 of Evenepoel just coming in. At the edge of that, so is Rodriguez. I don't think we've seen the yellow jersey yet. Nope, there he is. So well down. He's going to lose, looks like, about 6 minutes. Now, he had a minute's lead. That means he's going to be about 5 minutes down. And we are going to be much further behind than that. Peter's out of energy. 700 meters. I don't know when he ran out, but I would imagine it wasn't that long ago. And he loses 13. That should, hopefully, finally put him far enough back to no longer be a concern, so he can go get in a breakaway and pick up 20 points. Vandenberg has managed to do so just once. He's not succeeded the other times. Well, we now have just 7 stages remaining. Okay, folks, I know I should get one more stage in, but I do not have time for it tonight. Apologize for that, but back to the normal length of episodes next time. That's going to do it for this one. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.